Hello and welcome to chapter 6, very first lecture in our comprehensive course on AI, machine learning and data science. Now, here we want to do introduction to the data science. And here we want to learn about two data structures, series, Pandas series and Pandas data frame. Introduction to Pandas. Okay, then there is other chapter about more advanced things about Pandas. Now, NumPy creates a data structure called NumPy array. Similarly, Panda creates two data structure, Panda series and a collection of several Panda series that is called Pandas data frame. Now, one should not feel at this time that we are here to learn about data analytics and machine learning and all that, and when will that start? Actually, that have already started. In previous chapter, what you learned, median, mean, mode, harmonic mean, then geometric mean, that are measures of central tendency, and similarly measures of variance, that is measures of dispersion, that is variance and standard deviation, and similarly measures of distortion in shape, that is skew and kurtosis. All these are statistical concepts, and one of the most important textbook, the seminal textbook of learning machine learning and data science is called ISLR, that is Introduction to the Concepts of Statistical Learning. Unfortunately, as more fancier terminology came into existence, like machine learning, then deep learning and artificial intelligence and all that, the core thing, that is that statistical learning, that slightly went in the background, and even engineers and technocrats, they they feel a little bit shy in telling that they are doing statistical analysis. Instead, they will call, I'm doing machine learning and I'm doing data analysis and all those words. But believe me that at the root of machine learning, these concepts like hypothesis making, hypothesis testing, then the measures of central tendency, measures of dispersion, then maybe central limit theorem, various kinds of data distribution, all these are very important. So this is for those impatient people who think that when will my data analysis start? When will my data analysis start? So yes, that has already started. Okay. Now, when we started, maybe just a third chapter, it has already started. And this NumPy was covered in adequate depth. Now we are covering Pandas. This chapter is just introduction, but in next few chapters we'll deal with Pandas in much more depth. Okay. Now let us see what is Panda. Panda is a powerful Python library which is designed for data manipulation and analysis. It is well suited for working with tabular data. It introduces two primary data structures, series and data frame, which build upon and extend the capability of NumPy arrays. Now, there are three keywords in this. One, Pandas is designed for data manipulation and analysis. So obviously now we feel a little bit relieved that that is what I am here to learn in this course. So okay, fine. Second, this will also give you a lot of relief that it is particularly well suited for working with tabular data. Tabular data means, the very basic example is Excel sheet or CSV sheet. So this is a tabular data, and most of the people, their first introduction to data analysis is through Excel. So we want to learn how to handle this kind of tabular data, and this is called structured data. This type of data is also called relational database, because a table in a more scientific language is called a relation. So this is called relational data or structured data. And in the initial part of career, one has to be first expert in handling structured data. Then he can start handling unstructured data, maybe audio and maybe images and then words and other things. But first one has to understand about this structured data. Okay, so this is our familiar thing, and now this sentence says that Panda is particularly well suited for handling that type of data. So now we are further relieved that we are on right track, and it introduces two primary data structures, series and data frame, which extend the capability of NumPy arrays. Now this is one key characteristic of Python, that it just starts with a few basic things and builds up upon it using that only. So it is like you take one brick, second brick, third brick, and you create entire structure, but the structure is just a repetition of bricks. So few fundamental concepts are there, and their further and further advancement that gives the complex data structure. So let us start with this primary data structure given by Pandas library. So we are importing Pandas library. NumPy also we are importing. As such, it was not required, but I added a few things here and there in this example. Let me clear out the all old output. Okay, fine. And so if you write this and suppose you get the error that module Pandas does not exist, no module named Panda, then just to do install Panda. Okay, so that will give that will install Panda in your virtual environment. and then that will allow you to import pandas. So here I assume that I have already installed pandas and numpy, so I am starting. Now suppose first we take these examples, and therefore the lower one I am commenting out. So suppose I have a list. It is ordinary Python list, and we know that list is a basic data type. List is collection of homogeneous or heterogeneous, both are allowed, elements, and it is a one-dimensional data structure. Okay, so it can be a list like this, list of numbers, or it can be a list of like this, list of strings, or it can be even list of mixed data types. So that is a few numbers and few strings. But I later on want to create an array also from this, and you know that for array there is a condition that array must be a homogeneous data structure. So that means either everything should be strings or everything must be numbers. Okay, so that's why I'm creating homogeneous list. So homogeneous list, and this is also homogeneous list, but at present I'm taking first one. Now what is a Pandas series, or how to create a Pandas series? Very simple command, td.series. Now this is one great thing about this Python, that everything is done by a few commands. For example, in previous chapter we learned hardly a few commands like np.array to create array, then np.mean to find mean, np.median to find median, then np.variance to find variance, then coefficient to find the correlation between two data sets, then maybe np.random.rand int, and like that a few commands, and most of the work you can do. Similarly for pandas also there are a few commands. And suppose you still forgot that I want to create a pandas series, but I forgot how to create, then that standard method is always available, push dot and then push tab character. So you will get what options are available to you. Okay, I think perhaps I will have to restart kernel. That sometimes happens with Jupyter. Okay, so when I push dot and then tab character, I got all the options which are possible with pandas library. I want to create a series, so let me find some option which is which contains the word series. And here there is some such word. So let us use that word, and in bracket as a parenthesis I will give the argument as my data. Okay, so my data currently is this, so I will create the series. Similarly, I can also create a numpy array, but about that I will talk afterwards. So let us comment out that thing, and series only. Similarly, print about everything about numpy I am commenting out, because we have seen more than enough of numpy in previous two chapters. So first this. So then series is equal to pd.series data. So now my data, which was in the terms of Python list, has been converted into pandas series, and let us try to print that series. Okay, let me even comment out these two lines at present and only just print my series. Okay, so if I print it, then this is what is I'm getting as the output. So you can see one important thing, that my original list data was one-dimensional horizontal, but the series, when I print, it gives output vertically. So that itself gives the indication that what will be the use of series. Then it will be used as a column of a data set. Okay, so for example, this entire column can be written as one series, this entire column can be written as another series, and this entire column can be written as another series, like that. While those column headers, they can be written in a different way slightly, and that we are going to see. So fine. So from this output, a few things should be clear. One thing is that you get something like a column-like structure. Second thing which is clear from this output is this D-type object. Now remember, when you that is also automatically printed. So that data type object is not the data type of this new data structure named series which you have created. That is the data type of every element inside that new data structure. Is that clear? So if you do that, then in that case you can find that every element is object data type, because my every element is string. But instead of that, suppose I do the same steps again, but this time my data I have changed. Now it is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, that kind of list. And again I convert it into series, pd.series, and in parenthesis data. And then if you see, now the series is like this. Okay, and the data type is int64. So remember that the data type which is printed here is not the data type of this thing. This thing, series, or the new data structure which is created. It is the data type of every member which is inside the series. Okay, so that is, it is the data type of this thing. That is one thing. One more thing which you can see is, then how to know data type of this whole structure. Okay, so first let me show you the method to find data type of every member of any data structure in Python by dot operator. So this will be print, then this is my data structure which I have created with pd.series, this data structure. Now I want to know the data type of every element inside, then just write dot dtype. But dtype does not again give data type of this. Please remember, it gives data type of every element inside this. Okay, so if I print that, then you already get it in the output of that series, but still once again we are getting that it is int 64. Okay, so that is one thing. One more thing which you can see is that how to find the data type of this thing, this new data structure which we have created. So for that, d type command is not useful. For this command, use this type, a function is used, and inside the function you have to pass the what as an argument whichever data structure you are data structure type you want to know. So here if I do that, then now you get that this data structure, this series data structure which is newly created by pd.series, that data structure is of which type? Then it is pandas.core.series.series. In short, it is a pandas series. Fine. I can use this type function for any data. For example, if I use this type function for my original data, now what is that data? It is a Python list. So let me check that if Python gives proper or not. Then it will give, it is a class list. So it is clear that if I want to find the data type of a data structure, may it be built-in data structure or may it be user-defined data structure or anything, you have to use type and in bracket that thing. Okay, now let us convert this into a numpy array also. So for that, I am now commenting this, uncommenting that line and uncommenting this line also, and uncommenting this line also. And let us print again. So now this much is the output of print series that prints the entire pandas series. Okay, then this d type equal, sorry, not that, this int 64, that is the output of this line. It prints the data type of every element inside my panda series. Then this class panda core series, that is the output of this line. Now this time I'm not getting out data type of every element of the series, but I'm getting data type of this series itself, and therefore it is pandas series. Okay, then this line will print my array, and as far as the look is concerned, array also looks same as list. So that's why how to distinguish. So we have the key now that I can use the type function, and in bracket I want to whatever thing whose data type I want to check, I will just put it in parenthesis. So then I will get this. Okay, and therefore I am getting class numpy nd array. So because that was a numpy array, my array was a numpy array. Okay, now I'm removing everything related with numpy because we have done numpy in sufficient detail in previous chapter. But my purpose was just to show that series and array are two totally different things. Okay, so this is what I will just keep. Okay, now one more thing which you can see from this output is that my data was just this 1 2 3 4 5 7 8 9, or I can even now remove that data from that format and I can keep the data in the string format. And my data was these names of few people, but when I converted into pandas series and when I printed that series, then I am getting this kind of output. So I'm not only getting the values of those names, but an index is by default attached. By whenever you convert a list into pandas series, panda attaches an index, and that starts from 0. So that is one behavior which you want to see. And if you don't specify any custom index, I can even create A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, etc. also instead of 0, 1, 2, 3. But then I have to specify that use these as index. If you don't specify anything, then Panda will use the default 0, 1, 2, 3 up to 9. Okay. So that is one thing. Now suppose I want to use custom index. Then as I said, first specify that custom index. That this is my data. How many members are there? 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 6. Then specify exactly 6 index elements and specify that by a list. Again, the method remains same, pd.series, and first argument also remains same, data, but the next argument which here we avoided. So if you avoid index argument, then it takes by default 0, 1, 2, 3. But here I am saying that take as index the index which I have given as an example here, this index. So now it will use ABCD as the index. Okay, sometimes it is required to do that. So you can see that it has been converted into a column, something like a column, and each row, this is first 0th row, this is first row, this is second row, but each row now is not ordered 0, 1, 2, 3, but it is ordered ABCD up to XYZ and so on. So this is one thing that I can create a Panda series with custom index. Now more important is not Panda series, but more important is this powerful data structure, that is Pandas data frame. Okay, Pandas data frame. So that we will take care in next chapter. Thank you, and we'll see in the second chapter of this second lecture of next. This is the 6th chapter. Okay, thank you.